Intro. Today, I'll be talking about a TikToker who has done some insane actions recently by the name of Ashley Barnes. So we all know about the Diddy case, but imagine a high schooler that's popular on TikTok tried to do a small operation that was the equivalent of one of the Diddy's parties. That is basically what we are dealing with here. I am not kidding. Before we get into this, you are probably wondering who Ashley Barnes is. She is a 17-year-old who turns 18 in November, and she has over 2.7 million followers on TikTok, and she does a lot of basically in real life content, whether it's lip syncing songs, videos about her life, dancing, talking about mental health, which I'll get more into later. She was born and lives in LA. She is also adopted, but also had an issue where she was SA'd at a very young age, allegedly in 3rd grade. So she also has used her platform to talk about it and spread awareness about that as well. Everything about mental health recovery from these type of situations and stuff around that. That's kind of how she started, and that's kind of something that was a big detail in her early content. This will become more important later in the story and a bigger talking point near the end of the video. But after that event happened at a young age, in middle school she started vaping. There was some gas, and in high school, drink water, to say the least, I guess you can say, and also take ADHD medication like Adderall. As far as I know, that is all she has done, but I think some people are alluring to her doing more things, but I don't really know. A few days ago, I think around the 6th of July or somewhere around that, Ashley Barnes invites a bunch of people over to hang out. But this night is just not a regular hangout, but instead an attempt to get everyone freaky, or more so her targeting and wanting certain people and trying to get with them by doing a lot of sketchy actions and having a stash of several things to help people want to get going, like a pheromone spray. It's like the honey pack of air. I don't know how else to explain it. There's also gummies. There's some gels that help with that type of stuff, and handcuffs. And I think there might have been a few more things. Oh yeah, toys. A lot of people came out with stories around or near this situation. First, I'll go over who these people are, then show them telling their sides of their story or their own experiences with her. Then I'll be going over the videos. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, as I make videos on internet dramas, locales, and more. This topic really piqued my interest and has gotten super popular online recently, and this is like a couple days old. I am trying to be on this as hard as possible. This situation is extremely unique and rare, to me at least, because it is showing some freaky and bad behavior. There's a good conversation to come out of this, though, I believe, or at least more of an interesting one. And this is just an insane and interesting situation in general, pretty unique. But with all that said, enjoy. Echo Picone. Echo Picone is a 17-year-old actress and singer with nearly 400,000 followers on TikTok. She has hung around people around the circle like Rockelle, who, if you don't know, just to give a quick explanation, is a very famous TikToker, the most famous TikToker in this situation, and hangs around that circle. And here is her side of the story.
Hi everyone, my name is Echo. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a singing influencer here on TikTok, and I usually don't make this kind of video, but I wanted to come on and share my personal feelings and experiences only. I'm not going to name names. This is not meant to cancel anyone. I just saw someone speak out about this today and I realized I wasn't alone, so I just wanted to come on here and share my side of the story. So a while back, I became friends with this creator who had a pretty big following, and we met through a show we were in together. And at first I thought she was very cool, very talented, and honestly I felt very bad for some of the stuff she had gone through in her life. I think a lot of people in her life felt bad for her, and I'm not saying that in a judgmental way. I'm just saying that it began to become an excuse for behavior that wasn't okay. So the first red flag for me was a game of truth or dare. We were in a small group, but the game got really weird really fast. People were being asked super uncomfortable questions, clothing was being asked to come off, and I remember feeling super uncomfortable, but I didn't grow up in an environment where I had played those games before, so I guess I thought it was normal and I was overreacting, so I felt like I had to play to fit in. During this game, she asked us to hide our phones. She made us turn all of them off so we couldn't record or take photos of anything. I didn't want to be a buzzkill, and she was laughing and making it seem like it was normal, and so I just didn't say anything because I didn't know if it would be an overreaction. Then we went on this trip together, and we were staying in the house with a few friends and her partner at the time, and I remember noticing that she was being very pushy with her partner, but I didn't want to say anything because I felt like that wasn't my place and I didn't want to start any drama. At the beginning of the trip, we had a miscommunication with some of the plans, and she got really upset with me. Even though I apologized, I felt like I was walking on eggshells with her most of the time. I felt like everyone had to be on her side aside. She kept saying it was her trip, and she would either get really passive aggressive or ice people out if they didn't do things how she wanted them done. First night of the trip, we were all filming content together by the pool in the house. We had all just gone swimming, we were in bathing suits, and she wanted to film this TikTok where I would flirt with her partner and she would flirt with her friend, so it would be messy and do well, and like it would look like we were cheating. And I immediately told her that not only was I uncomfortable with what I was wearing, but I was uncomfortable making the video, and I have text proof of that. She didn't confirm that she wasn't going to post the video, so the text is from the next morning of me asking her not to post it and saying that I wasn't comfortable with that. But the night of, she was just laughing and saying, oh no, just like no one will care, like just tell your mom, like it's just a joke, like my fans will just get it's a joke. That same night we were playing Truth or Dare again, and similar questions were coming up and similar dares were coming up, and I felt very pressured to do some stuff I didn't want to do. One of the questions asked was for me to kiss her partner. I immediately remember questioning why she would be okay with that, like your friend kissing your partner while you're dating them, and she just laughed it off and was like, no, it's just a game, like it's normal. So we went through with the dare, and she said she wasn't looking and she had us do it again. And I pulled her partner aside that night, and we both agreed that we were super uncomfortable with the situation that we were put into. But again, we both didn't know if we were overreacting because we didn't have a lot of experience playing these kinds of games, and we didn't know if it was normal like she was telling us it was. But later her friend pulled me aside and told me that she had been in a very similar situation once, and that made me feel less alone. But still, I felt like it was an overreaction because we just kept moving on with the trip. On the last day of the trip, we threw a little party at our house, and we had some friends over, and her partner and I had worked very hard to set up the party and make sure everything was calm and no one was upset about anything. And so when everyone decided they wanted to go to another party after ours, we decided that we didn't want to go because we didn't want to deal with the drinking or the chaos, and we just wanted to stay home and relax. I also was going to stay home because I had a flight very early in the morning and I wasn't trying to be out late. And the second everyone left, her partner kind of opened up to me about how mistreated and exhausted she was feeling, and that's all we did. We just talked, and I tried to keep the mood light. Like, we cooked in the kitchen, we ate brownies, we watched Try Not to Laugh, and then we went to bed and nothing happened. Woke up the next morning and everything was fine. I woke up pretty early from my flight, and the creator walked in, and I was like, oh, are you going to the gym? She's like, no, I just got home from the party. And I remember being a little like, oh, like, why'd you get home so late? And she was like, oh, I was drinking, but I'm not telling my partner. And I just remember everyone was like a little tense because of that situation. Like, the partner overheard it and they began fighting over that. So I stayed in touch with everyone. I flew home, everyone else flew home, and then things began to get a lot more tense. I stayed in touch with her partner, who was very exhausted, very emotionally drained, and all of a sudden I got a text that the creator was accusing me and her partner of being together. I am hopelessly straight. Now you guys know what happened in the house while the creator was out at the party. Nothing happened, but I've read before about psychological projection. When someone does something bad, they accuse their partner of doing the same thing to kind of take the blame off of them or make them feel better about what they did. And I think that at the party something happened that led her to accuse me and her partner of being together. Or that's just my opinion, that's not a proven fact. So eventually the accusations led to a very tense situation and a very messy breakup. I didn't take sides. I wanted to stay out of it. I wasn't involved in it in any way. And I asked the creator directly, please keep my name out of anything public. She promised she wouldn't, but I definitely had zero trust in what she said. The breakup dragged on for weeks. I kept hearing that she was threatening to post things to, quote, ruin me. She allegedly took her partner's phone and had made fake screenshots that she was going to post. And I cannot explain to you the fear that I felt knowing that someone with a big platform was going to use that to lie and try and ruin me over a situation that didn't happen. I felt like I had to constantly check in, reassure her that I wasn't taking sides, apologize for things I hadn't even done just so she would keep my name out of things publicly. And honestly, I think it was probably the most mentally exhausted and stressed I've ever been in my life. Eventually, I stopped reaching out, I stopped engaging with her, I just made sure that I wasn't involved and that I wouldn't be dragged into any public drama that was obviously going down. I felt like I couldn't speak up about the situation because I knew how easily she could turn hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people against me, and I didn't want to deal with that. So the reason I'm coming on here to talk about this is that I saw another creator post about it, being forced into situations they didn't want to be in, and I realized that I wasn't alone. I don't want clout, I don't want to cancel anyone, I just want to say that I think this creator should step off of social media and seek genuine mental and professional help. Social media pressure, views, followers, how your video is going to do doesn't excuse pushing people's boundaries and making people do things that they don't feel comfortable doing. However, I feel like I'm not the only person who's experienced this, but I feel like this creator has such a forgiving fan base and is using her trauma to justify her mistreatment of different people. I just want to say, if you ever think that you're overreacting in a situation where you're uncomfortable, you're entitled to your feelings and you're definitely not overreacting. Don't be afraid to speak up. Thank you so much for listening. Love you guys so much.
She apparently was going to add a part 2 to this series, but it has been a day and she still has not talked about it. Apparently she cannot figure out how to explain or talk about certain, like, situations, I guess, is what she's saying. She's an example of someone who's a smaller creator, even though she has, like, nearly 400,000 followers. She's still small compared to the rest of these people, and she was trying to fit in. These girls are younger, so peer pressure and, of course, social media presence and, wanting to be popular is more of a thing on their mind right now. Her story talking about Ashley being pushy and easily angered is a repeated pattern you will find in a lot of these stories, or at least in most. And there was an interesting detail talking about how she was lying, interesting attempts to possibly destroy others in this statement as well, and it was sounds like pretty evil behavior and like really manipulative. But on to the next story. These only get longer and worse. Lucei Noelle. I think this is how you say it. I don't know exactly how, but it looks like Lucei Noelle. But she is another TikToker and also known for her in real life content, where it's either her getting ready for something like an event, lip syncing, dancing, all that type of stuff. She already has nearly 180,000 followers on TikTok. Here is her side of the story.
Hey everybody, I have realized there's still a lot of confusion about my side of the story, and some people are kind of thinking it's all messed up, and honestly, if I'm being honest, it is. And this is because when I first made my both parts of my story, I did not really sit down and think about what I was going to say or anything like that. I just started giving you my experience and everything. I didn't really think and process. Just let me put it in order and let me figure it all out. So I wanted to come on here and give you guys a less confusing version. So I had flown down to LA last Friday through Sunday. And the reason I flew down was because Paul invited me to his 1 million party. And before the party happened, we had a little meetup at the Grove earlier that day, just to all make TikToks together and whatnot. And that is when I met her. The first time I spoke to her, I was like, oh my gosh, hi, so nice to meet you. I've seen your videos before. We just kind of talked. She kind of blew me off at first, so I didn't take it personal really, because I knew it was probably stressful for her as well. But after that, we made a few TikToks. I didn't really talk much to her. Me and Milina were more hanging out together because we got along pretty well. So I talked to her a little bit, and then I went home. I went home at around, I would say 3:30, 4 o'clock to go get ready for Paul's party, because I also had to help my mom get ready. So, forward, I already got ready, and I'm on the way to the party. I get in, all of that. We had to wait outside the line, which was understandable. So about 30 minutes into the party, I walked inside and I saw a few bigger creators, so I went over and we were all just talking and all of this, and Ashley was a part of that group of girls. So as I was talking to them, I was telling yeah, this is really overwhelming for me because I'm a pretty anxious person and there's a lot of people here and it's messing with my anxiety. And Ashley comes over and she gives me a hug, which I thought was super sweet and all that. After that though, I didn't see her until I went outside to go make a few TikToks with some creators. And at this point, I'm pretty sure she was not sober. I'm not 100% sure, don't get me wrong, but she asked me to go to the bathroom with her. Because before she asked me, we were talking a lot, and we were just laughing and making jokes together and making TikToks. And for reference, before she asked me to go to the bathroom with her, we were talking for about an hour, may I say. And so I go to the bathroom with her because I didn't really think much of it. I just thought, oh, maybe she just wants company while she's in there because maybe she hasn't gone yet and she's kind of scared or she doesn't know where to go. So I didn't think of it as a big deal. Until I go to the bathroom with her and she pulls out which if you didn't know is a type of, and then I told her I'm just gonna go to the bathroom really quick, and then once I go back out we can continue talking. I just don't want to be around that because I don't do it personally. So I went to go pee, and then we swapped by and she grabbed my waist and pushed me aside and went down my thigh, went here, I'll show you that, and then she went like that and went to go to the bathroom. And when she finished, I left. We took a picture together. I don't know if you guys want to see it, but I'll show it. Here is the photo. You can see the bathroom stall behind us. And after I took that photo with her, I went and I left. Also, I saw a lot of people asking what lip stain I had in my video. This is the Sachu lip stain in the shade Pinked 03. So I took that photo, I washed my hands, and then I left the bathroom. After I left the bathroom, I went out and and met up with one of my other friends, and we just hung out for a little bit. Until I saw her again, which was probably about an hour later into the party, and we started talking again, and we honestly became inseparable at that point. Like, we were just talking the whole time, we were always together. And that was another reason why I didn't really see the red flags. I thought maybe she just wants to be friends with me. I know that sounds bad, but I was kind of fangirling as well because I've watched her my whole life and now I'm meeting her in person. So at that point on, we were talking, and then I asked her, like, hey, do you know if there's an after party happening? And I was like, I think there's a few. Let's go talk to my friend Gio. Come back for part 2. I'm gonna run out of time. I went to go talk to Gio, and he said, yeah, I'm hosting an after party. You guys can come if you want. And we said, okay, whatever. And then me and her, we went over to this dance floor. There was no one there. There was just a DJ, and then it was us two, and we were dancing and stuff. And then it was really loud, so I told her, I have a really bad inhaler right now. And I was like laughing because I thought it was more of a joke. Like, I thought it was kind of just like funny. Like, I don't believe in TMI personally. So I told her, and then she looked me up and down and she said, I can fix that. And she put her hand on my crotch. And I immediately started getting a weird feeling in my stomach. But I didn't really consider how bad it really was. I just thought maybe she was trying to be funny. I didn't take it personal, which I probably should have. I probably should have told someone. There was security there. I don't know why I didn't say anything to them. But after that happened, I still really did not think much of it because I was still in the headset, this is good for my account. This is good for me. This is going to get me more connections, more views, more friends. Like, I didn't think about what was really happening. And that's what another thing is. I really feel like she took advantage of the fact that I was a smaller creator. Because she asked a bunch of other smaller creators too to go to the bathroom with her, and I just happened to be the one that said yes. But we already talked about that. So after that, we went to go find Milina and Luca, and at this point, keep in mind, she says, I'm so excited to tonight, I'm having such a good time. And me and Milina look over at her and we're like, aren't you supposed to be staying sober? Because at this time, what she told me, because I knew she was supposed to be staying sober, and so I asked her, like, hey, are you supposed to be, because I thought she was supposed to be staying sober. She says she's only supposed to be staying sober from alcohol, and I obviously believed her, because she is good at lying. So me and Milina started talking to her, and we were like, no, you're not doing any of that. You're not drinking. Absolutely not. But since it was our first time meeting, she didn't really listen to me, obviously. So Milina decided to pull her aside for about 30 minutes, I would say, and talk to her about why she should not do it. And when I was there, I was walking around waiting for her when that was happening. I didn't really realize or understand what was happening. I was kind of overwhelmed with the whole experience. So after they finished talking, I went over and I was like, hey, are you okay? What happened? Like, is everything okay? She was like, yeah, but I don't think I'm going to go tonight because my roommates said they don't want any company, and also because of what Milina was telling me, I don't think it's a good idea for me to go. And I was like, okay, that's completely understandable. I'm really glad you're choosing this path and you're deciding not to go and break your sobriety. And so I decided I was going with my friend Macy instead. So I left the party at around 11:30, and we went back to Macy's hotel room. We got ready, all of that. And I would say we got to the after party at around 12 o'clock. And I was there, I was just talking to people, I was talking to Gio, I was talking to everyone there. And I was having a really good time until I see Ashley Barnes walking in. And I'm a little like, huh? A little confused because she was just saying prior how she was not going. And so I went up to her and I was like, I gave her a hug and I was like, hi, how are you? I didn't know you're coming, I thought you said you're staying home. And she was like, oh, and for reference, her words were slurred. She was like, oh, I wanted to come now. I changed my mind. I don't really care about what Milina has to say. All of this stuff. And then I noticed she had a bag with her. And in this bag, she had unprescribed. And she was attempting to hand it out to people. She attempted to give it to me as well. I'm so grateful I did not take it. I would never take it. But she was asking people if they wanted some. I'm not sure if she took any herself, because I left the party early, but I did know she brought it. I also have a video. My friend Macy sent me the video of her, and this was later in the party once everyone had basically left. And nobody else in this video was drinking, and nobody there was drinking either. It was just only her. And the messages between Brad and the other creator, the DM, was with me and him. And the video that he received of the water was from me. So if you know what I'm talking about, you know. If you don't, go on his account, you can go look at it really quickly and then come back. But that happened. I didn't really talk to her much after that, but every once in a while when I did, she was very touchy with me, and it was making me very uncomfortable. So I tried to keep my distance from her. And so after all of that, I left and I went to sleep. And the next morning I woke up and I just was hit with a really strong feeling of guilt and why did I let this happen? I was too scared to say anything though, because this is a bigger influencer. This girl could literally ruin my reputation, ruin my life, if she really wanted to. So that next day she texted me and she was asking to hang out and all this stuff, and I texted her hey, I don't know if I can, and I'm glad I didn't either. But I had this lingering on my mind for the past few days, and when I just finally decided to say something, it's because I saw so many other creators speaking up about it, and it made me feel more comfortable and able to. I thought I should also mention that there's no ill intent in anything that I am saying. I am not trying to hurt anyone's feelings or get anyone in trouble. I am just saying all of this because I want justice, and I want all these other people to get their justice as well. Because I know of a few influencers who are still afraid to speak on it that have had similar experiences. But what happened to me was not okay. I was trying to justify it to myself. I was trying to tell myself, you're just being dramatic, it's fine. But I've really realized this is not okay. I need to do something about this. And I hope you guys can understand and accept and see my side of the story, and you guys will all still support me, I guess. But I love you guys all so much, and thank you all for all of the support you guys are giving me. It truly does mean the world to me. You guys have gotten me through this. Ever since this all happened, I've been struggling with some thoughts, and I've been even considering acting on them because of how hurtful and stressed this all is. So thank you guys truly, because you guys are the reason I've gotten through this. I love you guys so much. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me.
It seems like Ashley is way too comfortable being touchy with people, or it just seems like she's overly confident. I talk more about this later, whether what exactly is inspiring these type of weird behaviors. And a lot of people have bad experiences with people like Ashley or an event like this, and say the same things I didn't think of telling people and I don't know why stuff. I don't blame them. And it feels bad because they are kind of blaming themselves and kind of questioning the entire night or why they did this or that. And I do feel bad. It's you're not alone in that situation, I guess. And people talking about how Ashley is good at lying, and these stories in general are all connected. It's all too good to be false. There is no way that these stories are false. But she is also one of the shorter stories, but an important one as well. A lot of people say these same things I didn't think I could say anything. I feel scared about her influence, as she is a person that is very huge on TikTok. Ashley can make a video on these people and then say that they're a liar and all this bad stuff, and basically destroy their careers or very much hurt them. And this reminds me of Milina, a YouTuber who self-admitted to his own actions that were very bad and still isn't banned off any platform other than Twitch, I think. The reason it reminds me of this situation is because there are girls who haven't came out due to how big Milina is as a creator, and they are afraid of the backlash they're going to get by his quote fans, even though that he doesn't really have many anymore. And it sucks to see how this affects others. I feel like even if you're not being personally being one-on-one with this person, I feel like even being around someone acting wild like this can make you feel gross and make you feel kind of really bad in a lot of ways. So I feel bad for also the people just around the situation that were not directly involved, and I feel bad for all the people that are afraid to talk out about people like Minilad or talk out about Ashley. This is a very long one, but also has a lot of good key points. Milina Magone. Milina Magone is a TikToker who does lip syncing, dancing, and other in real life videos with her friends. I think all these people kind of do the same things video wise on TikTok. I mean, it kind of makes sense that they're all hanging out. Her story is pretty long, but it is valid. She is 17 with 420,000 followers or near that, and here's her story.
Milina Magone.
My name is Savannah Jacobs.
And we are here to speak about the truth of our first-hand experience with a creator. And we were silenced and isolated for a long time, and we couldn't speak about it because we were genuinely scared of what this creator would do.
I'm not allowed to say names for legal reasons, but we are here to talk about...
I can, Ashley Barnes. And we want justice for everyone that has ever been involved with her, because what she has done to everyone is horrible. It's disgusting, it's inhumane, and everyone deserves justice. Brad Mason came out with a video, and so did Echo and a few other people, and we felt more comfortable to tell our side of the story because we were the closest people to Ashley, her ex-girlfriend and her best friend, and we cannot believe she would do this stuff to her friends. Since she can't say her name, she's gonna say
Peaches. We stayed friends, well, me as her girlfriend, and she stayed friends with her because genuinely we were scared for our lives about what she would do to us if we were to say something or come out with a story.
She would start saying some random things that were actually terrifying that no one should be telling people, and it was mentally ill. Also, back to that, a lot of people in my comments are asking me why I stayed friends with her if I knew what was happening. But personally, I actually did not know what was happening. Brad Mason, we got on the phone and we started calling about it because he told me that it was about Ashley, the video he originally posted. So I was like, oh my god, I'm not alone. So I started confiding into him and telling him what was happening with me and Ashley and how I wasn't safe. And he told me everything before the video was posted, so I was aware up to a day before the video was posted of what actually went down. And that is why I wasn't filming videos with her when I was in LA. That is why I stayed away from her, and she would just walk up to me, ask me to film, and then walk away. She didn't even want to talk. And I'm talking about the last time I just came back from LA, this past LA trip.
The reason why we were both scared of
Ashley
was because she would say sometimes about how she would feel a certain way if she were to do
to someone. And hearing that from people that she's super close to, she has threatened us.
Especially us being so close to her, that's why we were genuinely scared of what she would do.
Because she would tell us everything she felt. Also, you guys have been asking, why did I stay with Ashley, not Savannah? But the whole time I was friends with Savannah, I was banned from Savannah. Ashley would not let me hang out with her. I will post the screenshots of her yelling at me when she found out I was hanging out with her. And Savannah and I have been friends since we were younger in 2nd grade, and Ashley and I met in 8th grade, and she tried to take it away. She would tell me lies about Savannah, telling me, you really want to be friends with someone who did this to me? You really want to do that? And she was like, she would just guilt trip me the whole time. While Ashley was with Savannah, this whole time she has been in love with me, and she has told me she is in love with me. She has told me that since I've had a girlfriend, and I've told her multiple times that I'm super uncomfortable about it, and she was like, it's just a joke, but we knew it wasn't.
I always had a gut feeling that she didn't like me more than she liked somebody else.
In the beginning of our friendship, last May when I went viral on TikTok with her, the week before we even posted videos, she was on vocal rest, and I had to sit there and talk to her, and it wasn't an issue. She was perfectly normal. And then she brought me to this field that she brings herself every night, and she told me, without telling me, she mouthed, I am in love with you, but I can't be in love with you because I have a girlfriend. And that's a lot to put on someone, especially someone you just meet. And I didn't know what to do, so I told her, I was like, we need to talk about this when you can actually talk. The whole time, I had nothing with Ashley Barnes. I never wanted Ashley Barnes. I wanted her back in February of 2024, was it? Yeah, 2024, before we became friends. It's not even that I wanted her, I just thought she was pretty, and she told me, when I told her that, she told me, she was like, things could have been so different, it could have been you and me, and she told Brad Mason that it's either him or me as endgame, we were gonna get married. She would also, while with Savannah, she would lay on my chest and do all this stuff, even though I told her it was not okay. And she was like, it's okay, we are just friends, this is what friends do. And I thought that was kind of normal because I've seen my straight friends do it, and I just felt a little uncomfortable because of our past history. And one night that really sticks out to me is the night that we went to her sister's dance recital or whatever it was. At this dance recital, she did post a picture of me, if you guys do remember this. I was holding flowers, and those flowers were for her sister. The whole time at this dance recital, she was giving me looks and just saying some weird things, and I was like super uncomfortable. She also went through my phone, searched up her name in any conversation I ever had with her name in it, asking me, and that's how she found out I kind of liked her in February. During the recital, we had a blanket because it was cold. Under that blanket, she grabbed my hand and held my hand. I wouldn't look at her. I literally refused to look at her. I stared at the stage the whole time. At the end of the day, she asked me why I wasn't looking at her. Was she making me nervous? And she was, but not in a good butterfly way. I wanted to leave. That night we had a sleepover and I went over to her house. She laid on my chest and she was trying to explain the situation without saying the situation. So she created names. I don't remember the name she gave herself, but she gave me the name Melanie. And these names were used to talk about how she liked me and wanted me without saying it directly. She was trying to use it as a gateway to get in. She, on multiple occasions, has told me she wanted to break up with Savannah and wanted to get with me. Actually, I just remembered the name she gave herself was Abby. Also, Savannah did not know about these names until just now.
Just now. She would always talk about, like, this girl named Melanie, and I didn't, like, know who that was, and she would always say, like, oh, Abby, and I'm just like, okay, maybe they're your friends, but I never knew, like, the whole story.
I thought once I got a girlfriend it would all stop, but it just never stopped. She has always acted weird, but I have put boundaries up since because I dearly love my girlfriend so much, and I would never want to do this to her.
One day, our dearest friend,
Echo?
she had a show, Newsies, that we went to. Great show.
It was
we love her.
Back in March. It was like a month before, a little less than a month before the Glow House party.
Went to her show, everything was fine. We went back home, and this is where things kind of get crazy.
In the car, on the way back home, we got Wendy's, and then it was super late, like super late. I told her I had to go home, and she was like, no, it's fine, like stay. And I go, okay, like if you drive me home, I'll stay. She was like, okay. Once we got back to her house, we stayed in the car sitting there. It was probably like after 12, and me and Savannah were making jokes. Disclaimer, me and Savannah have been friends since second grade. We make jokes, and we will always make jokes. Any close friends make jokes like this. I was sitting there, and Savannah said something. I don't recall what it was, but I was like, stop before I kiss you, and we just giggled. Ashley turned and said, do it.
We kind of looked at each other like weird and confused. We're like, no, like, haha, that's, like, we don't do that.
Yeah, like it's a joke. I have a girlfriend. Ashley then proceeds to
Continue the joke.
and beg us. I made a joke and I said, $250. Give me $250. And she said, okay.
Not thinking she would actually give Milina the $250.
So when we were sitting there, she wanted us to just peck. We kept saying no. Took us 10 minutes to finally do it because we just wanted her to shut. After that, it doesn't end there. She then goes and says, do it again. I want to go in the back seat and I want to be in the middle. Pretend
there's a
has,
middle seat.
She sat there,
right there.
I sat here,
I sat
and
there.
she sat there. Again, probably took us another 10 minutes because we did not want to do this. We did not want to do this, but we had no other choice. She was literally getting upset.
While this person was going to be in the middle seat, she offered and kept offering more money.
For us to do it the second time, she said she'd give me another $250, so I would get $500 to kiss Savannah twice. I felt so uncomfortable and I didn't know what to do, but we were stuck in this car and she was my ride home and I just wanted to go home. After this, she turned to me and she goes, if she can kiss you, I can kiss you. And I was like, what? And she was begging. She was like, please, like, that's like hypocritical, like, why can't I kiss you? Savannah did it, like, she got to do it, I didn't, why can't I do it? And Savannah literally had nothing to say. She was like, I don't know. Savannah had no other choice, and she really couldn't say no because Ashley was going to do whatever she wanted. I couldn't even give her an answer. I couldn't say yes or no because she turns to me, grabs me by the throat and the face like this, and pulls me in and holds my face there for 3 to 5 seconds. Which is different because when me and Savannah kissed, it was...
That's it.
That's it. I felt so uncomfortable after. I wanted to leave and I couldn't. She had to drive me home. She said she was gonna give me $750 for that.
It doesn't end there. While we were all back there, she proceeds to say, let's do a 3-way kiss.
If you guys are confused about 3-way kisses, it was like this. Like she wanted us to do it like that.
Me and Milina were very uncomfortable and didn't really know what to do in that moment, so we kept pushing to say no, but we really couldn't.
She wouldn't listen to us. She said she'd give me $200 more. By the way, I'm the only one getting money out of this. Savannah had to just do this. At the end of the night, I received $950 in my Venmo account to kiss Ashley Barnes. And I feel like I was taken advantage of. I felt so upset that my friend wanted this, especially with her own girlfriend. Also, I don't know if you guys can take the hint, she gets off on this. She told us she gets off. That's all she wanted. She was like weirdly touching herself. Like she was like doing like weird stuff. This whole time I'm telling her I had a girlfriend and I really don't want to do this, and I would never want to put this harm on my girlfriend because I love her so much.
Milina was being so respectful towards her girlfriend.
The only reason I was okay with kissing Savannah was because she wouldn't stop pressuring this. And when she said she wanted to kiss Ashley and me, that she wanted us to kiss, I was so, like, I was not going to do it. For no amount of money, I was not going to do it. She grabbed my face and did it. I would not do that to my girlfriend, especially this girl that's fucking in love with me. But we are also doing this in order of like timelines. So the first part was in the beginning of our friendship. The second part was a month before the party for LA. And then this is going to be the Glow House party.
So right after school, we all had gone to the same school at the time. Right after school, we were going to go back to Peach's house. And we were going to go from there to the airport. And when we get there, we notice she hasn't packed anything.
Clothes everywhere.
No.
By the way, we are staying there for, I think, a week, maybe 8 days.
A week.
She has clothes that you should be, her clothes are tiny. You know what clothes she wears. She wears like these tiny tops. Like, she probably has over 200 pairs of tops in this pile. You can't see the ground.
So we're trying to get ready to go to the airport. We have like, what, 2 hours before our flight leaves?
Yeah.
And we're trying to go. She's still packing. She's yelling at all of us. We're just trying to help her. And we're like, what can we do? She's like, just go into the other room. And she's just like continuously yelling at us for doing nothing.
By the time she finally is packed, we are an hour late to leave for the airport. We call the Uber. We get in the Uber. She is the most disrespectful person to adults. I want everyone to know she is so rude to adults. This poor Uber driver was driving. She's getting yelled at. We are in traffic. 2 accidents happened on the way there on the highway by the American Dream Mall. You guys know where that is. And we were stuck. She's screaming about it. She's freaking out. She's like, well, Dad, like, if we don't make it, just buy me a ticket and they can stay. They can stay. Like, buy me a ticket.
Like,
mind you, I bought my own ticket.
She kept saying, this is my trip, but
it wasn't. While in this car, she's freaking out, and her dad says, you're probably not going to get your dress until tomorrow morning. That's the day of the party. The party's at night. She starts tweaking out. She's like, what do you mean? Like, I need my dress, like, blah, 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 blah. Savannah's trying to explain. She is screaming at everyone. I finally turn to her, and I'm like, Ashley, we will get on this plane. Our bags just might not, and they'll make the next flight, and we'll get them by tomorrow morning. You don't need to freak out. You're gonna have your dress by tomorrow. It's gonna be okay.
I'm trying to calm her down, and she's only listening to Milina.
Only. Right when I say that, she goes, oh, okay. We get to the airport. We have to check bags. She is going manic. She's going crazy about checking her bag. She doesn't know what to do. She's freaking out. She's like, kind of like being passive aggressive to the workers. Like, I felt so embarrassed.
So the first night we get there in West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, we're going up on the rooftop. We're getting into our bathing suits because there's a rooftop pool.
And a hot tub.
And a hot tub. We're all just hanging out, having a great time, filming TikToks like we usually do, just having normal conversations. So we're just making TikToks, and then this person, this influencer, has a great idea to rage bait basically, and post a video having me flirt with this
Echo.
hopelessly straight person.
Echo. She talked about this in her video.
Yes.
Echo was forced to flirt with Savannah, and Ashley wanted me to flirt with her. I voiced I have a girlfriend, and that's not okay. So Echo voiced that she does not feel comfortable. She doesn't want to be posted in a bikini, and she asked multiple times to not have this happen, but Ashley kept insisting.
During all of this, we felt so uncomfortable, but really we couldn't do anything because she had such a controlling power over all of us.
She held it over her head that she paid for this Airbnb, and that this is her trip.
This is her
and
trip.
that we're just here because of her. Like, yes, I'm not gonna lie, my following came from her.
Mine too.
She did so much for me. She is a good person deep down, but she's just so messed up in so many different ways that she needs help, and we have tried to give her this help, and she does not want to be saved.
It got to the point where this person asked me and
Echo.
to kiss, and obviously we were both like uncomfortable with it, but again we really couldn't do anything. So we ended up doing it, and she said, "Oh, I didn't see, do it again." So we ended up doing it again. But after that, she also asked me and Milina to kiss again.
And we did it because we felt like we had nothing else to do. If we walked away, she could just come back in the room. Like, you guys don't really understand how terrifying it was to be in any of these situations, because you could be sitting here saying, but why didn't you just stay now? Why didn't you leave? She is a manipulative, pathological liar. We, Brad, and multiple other people have talked, and we have found out things are being said, and things are also being said, and they're not really lining up. They're all lies. You actually don't know who Ashley Barnes is. No one knows who she is. You cannot trust her. During the 3 days we were staying at the Airbnb, one of the nights we went to Capri's after the Glow House party, and it was normal, and it was chill, nothing weird was happening.
At that party after the Glow House, we had all gone.
But the only difference about that night was she didn't come home with us. She went home later. We were super suspicious. We were like, why'd you stay later? She was like, oh, I was just having fun. It's fine. Like, it's okay. And we were like, all right, we're not gonna question. The next couple nights, she keeps going to Capri's house. Piper's there, but Piper leaves early, so she ends up just hanging out with, I think, Evan and Capri and all the guys. If you guys don't know who Evan is the assistant. I don't know what he was to Capri or Piper, but he's 7-year-old asking for in a field. Allegedly, that is what has been being told. Allegedly. She's had this weird connection with Evan that whole time, and it was kind of uncomfortable. The next night, I went.
The next night, I didn't go.
It was just me and Ashley, and we went there, and the party, it wasn't a party, it was just hanging out with the people that were in the house. She would disappear into rooms upstairs. We weren't allowed to be in these rooms. I don't know what was happening in these rooms, but it was super suspicious. She told us that allegedly Capri said that he likes cheetah print. So the next night when we were at her uncle's house, she went by herself to the house in a cheetah print bra. She also said she wasn't going to be drinking, but when I went there, she told me she was drinking and not to tell Savannah because Savannah was super against it. I went home and I told Savannah. We're hanging out with her cousin while we're at her uncle's house, and every night she would leave and go to Capri's house. And one night we actually requested her to not go because we thought it was unfair that we couldn't go and that she was leaving us every night, but in her words, it's her trip.
So we're sitting in Milina's room at the time with her cousin, with this influencer,
Eating Mexican food.
eating Mexican food. It was great food.
Amazing. Tasted amazing.
She claimed she was gonna go downstairs and grab the ice cream we had gotten her.
Because she was having a bad day that day.
So she goes downstairs and I get a text on my phone.
No, not even.
I get a text that says, I'm going to
Capri's house.
I love you, goodbye.
And
then
we hear the door
slam shut.
I run down the stairs. I open the door. I see her going into the Uber. I start yelling. I was like, Ashley, what the fuck? Like, why are you doing this? This makes no sense. You could have told us. You're a liar. Like, we were so frustrated that whole night we just stayed up texting her, making sure she was going to come home, because we genuinely didn't know where she was going. We assumed she was going to Capri's, but she wouldn't give us any answer. And to be honest, I'm not going to lie, the nights that she was gone,
It was
were the best nights
night
of
we
LA.
ever had.
Yeah, that was amazing.
We had so
much
many
fun.
inside jokes, so many like just memories that we'll cherish forever.
Are you guys ready? She came home with a black scent because she told me that she was around guys, and that's how she talks when she's around guys. And since Capri is dark toned, that's what happened. She said she was with them for like 3 hours. That doesn't happen. We were like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you talking like this? And she was like, "Cuh, like, you know how it be." Like that's not how she talks. Like, why are you doing that?
So that night she comes home, I'm in the bed that I'm supposed to be sleeping in, and she comes in, and I wake up, and I take my pillow and I take my blanket, and she's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm going for a walk," and I didn't tell her where I was going. I ended up going down to the beach because we were right by the beach, and I slept for about 2 hours.
For the rest of the trip, there is so much tension that anyone in the room could read it. Anytime she would say something, someone would get pissed off. It would always turn into a fight, and she wouldn't give us any fucking respect. The whole time, she was degrading Savannah. Savannah does so much for her. All Ashley had over her head was the fact that she paid for everything, but she always did the manual labor. And she always offered to pay. Savannah never asked for her to pay for her. Back to part 3. Ashley texted Echo while on the plane to LA, saying that she was upset about the fact that everyone was recognizing Echo and not Ashley. Self-centered. When Savannah and Ashley broke up, it was a very hard time for me because I was stuck in the middle and she was putting me in the middle. Savannah wasn't. She was feeding me these lies, saying that Savannah's a and that she told me that she had proof, but she would never once show me. She said she had voice memos. I asked for them. She never got around to showing me ever, making me believe that I don't think any of them are real. The week they broke up, I saw Savannah at the mall when I was shopping, and she was by herself, so we just planned. We were like, hey, let's hang out. Let's just chill. We didn't talk about anything. I actually really didn't know that they fully broke up yet. I was just there. I just wanted to hang out with my friend. I get a text from Ashley saying I'm a bad friend because I'm hanging out with Savannah. She starts trying to guilt trip me in these messages, and if you guys want, I'll reply to a comment. If you guys want the proof, I'll put it in there. At this time, she was illegally taking Accutane, Adderall, and she was drinking. It's teenager activity. You just gotta do it safely, and she was not. And to be honest, I haven't seen Ashley sober in so long, and I've always voiced that to her, that I think there's an issue happening and she needs to fix herself. She just blamed it on the breakup and saying it was all Savannah's fault, when really, you need to look into yourself. I stayed away from Ashley for a minute. A lot of people started catching on that I wasn't hanging out with her. I didn't really want to hang out with her, but she didn't know I knew these things, and I was scared if she knew I knew these things, something would happen to me. The last time we hung out before she went to UCLA, we were at where I am right now, and I was hanging out with her, and she was drunk. She had a Stanley full of it. She also, anyone she meets, you guys could probably back me up, she will trauma dump on you. Every single thing that has happened in her life, and a lot of it's a lie. When she went to UCLA, I didn't see her for a good minute, and then I went to LA for Paul's party. Originally, I was supposed to stay with her for 3 days. The first night, and then the other 3 days I was going to stay with Kenzie, and then the next 3 days after that, I was going to stay with Ashley. The whole Brad and Capri situation went down, and plans fell through, and I ended up having nowhere to stay. Kenzie and Lucei were so sweet to give me a home to stay in, and I cherish that so much, and I love them, and they are great people. Ashley was in New Jersey, and she flew in to California a day before Paul's party. Keep in mind, she was supposed to be sent off to rehab. I found out that her dad's one of the head of the AA meetings, and he took her out of the rehab. He talked to the head just so she can go to Paul's party. Savannah's back in the car, but from our experience, Michael Barnes uses her for her money.
I back up on that.
All he cares about is the money she makes. That is their income.
I'm telling you right now, if money is involved with
Michael Barnes
only chases that, he honestly he could care less about any other person, but if he sees dollar signs, he will chase after that.
Ashley needs a good help system and support system, but no one gave it to her. We tried to help her. We sat there and talked to her, but she did not want to listen. At Paul's party, I'm talking to my friend, and while I'm talking to her, Ashley walks up with Lucei. She's telling me on how she's gonna drink tonight, and it's fine because she used the word amphetamines were the issue. I told her, no, you're not doing that. You're ruining your body. You shouldn't be doing that. You need to be sober. You need to heal your body. She didn't listen. She didn't care. I start yelling at her at Paul's party, and Lucei and the other girl asked if they should leave, and I said yes. I grab her by the hand, and I pull her outside to a table. I sat her down for 25 to 35 minutes, telling her how what she's doing to her body is not okay, how she's going to lose her friends, and she's already losing them. Keep in mind, at this point, I do not know about the Brad situation. I wouldn't have been talking to her. I am screaming at her. She is crying. I thought I was actually getting to her and telling her how it is, but it turned out I wasted all my fucking time. I go to an after party, and at this after party, I'm standing there, and she runs up to one of my friends, and she says, quote, "I'm so drunk, I took 3 shots." She turns and she sees me, and she looks at me in the eyes, and she goes, "Oh fuck. I'm so sorry." Runs up to me. She knew she was wrong. She's trying to grab me. She's trying to say she's sorry. And I just keep pushing her away. I'm telling her, I don't want to talk to you. Yeah, I guess it didn't mean anything to you. Did nothing I say mean anything to you? I wasted my time. She later then came up to me with her water bottle and told me that she's drinking liquid IV and vitamins because I made her feel bad before. I told her, I don't care anymore what you do. It's not my responsibility. I tried to help her. I really did. I also want to say, Lucei is not innocent. She, at these parties, were grabbing onto me, holding me, hugging me in weird ways that I was not comfortable with. She asked someone to put them on with me, and when she was told I had a girlfriend, she said she did not care, and that she still wanted me. At the after party, she hugged me, and that was my last straw. I looked at Gianna, and I asked Gianna if we could leave, and she willingly said yes. My support group during this whole time has been the best thing ever. This has actually been such a hard thing for me to come to because it's really hard to think that someone you call your best friend would do any of this to you. It really opens my eyes. I would like to publicly thank Gianna, Kira, Samara, all of the people involved, Luca, Brad, Echo, Savannah, and all my friends at home and my family for supporting me, and all of you guys for supporting me, because no one should go through this, and everyone deserves to be heard, and justice needs to be served. She does not deserve this platform for mental health, because what about our mental health? She sat here deteriorating us for over a year and posting on the internet acting like nothing's happening. She's posting about being sober. She said she was a week sober, but really she was 2 to 3 days sober at that point, but broke it that night at the party. This is your call to not believe everything on the internet. Half of it's planned, half of it's a lie. You're being manipulated. You guys really need to know who you guys are worshiping, because it's the wrong people. As of right now, I have no contact with Ashley. I've had her blocked on everything, and her dad reached out to me the other day saying, quote, "Hi Milina, I'm sure you're aware of the bomb Brad dropped. Right now, Ashley could really use a friend since Brad so badly betrayed her. If there's any chance you could reach out, it would mean the world to her." Badly betrayed her. She betrayed everyone in this situation. She's a and her dad's condoning this. This is sad. This is disgusting. It's 2025. This is sickening. I hope no one goes through this, and I hope you guys really open your eyes on who you guys support, because it's half the time the wrong people. I want to make this clear, guys, what I said about Lucy. What I was told about Lucy was from Ashley Barnes. I should have put that in the video. She told me that she was asking all these questions and all of this, and based on the context of what was happening to me, I assumed it was true. Lucy reached out to me, I saw her story, and I feel horrible. I did not mean to do that to her and put her on blast like that. She feels bad, she has a boyfriend. It was a complete misunderstanding, and I'm so sorry. But again, that goes to show how manipulative and convincing Ashley Barnes is. About to give y'all what you guys have been asking for. Boom, $950 right there, March 31st. She gave me $950. What?
Ashley searching her name in text conversations is actually really smart. She sounds experienced, or she just sounds like super smart, or maybe this was just a quick thought, I don't know. But that is insane. But it also showed another person scared to talk about this for a long time, and one of these people are not legally allowed to talk, possibly due to cease and desist. But apparently some people are getting cease and desists about the situation, or just talking about her in general. But Ashley willing to pay for them to do things is like actually insane. I think this shows like a bit, like, also she's so young and she just like is willing to do stuff like that. She has a lot of money, and two, it just shows like it's just so insane. I don't know how to put it. It is just absolutely insane. Ashley being disrespectful towards adults is sucky and sad, especially seeing and being near wrecks and then like stressing out the driver and freaking out over the small things that are easily fixed. And then also showing that like, oh, she calmed down after this one girl that she's really into talked to her. It kind of shows unstableness. And it's just kind of weird. It shows how much she really liked this girl, I guess. Also, from what it sounds like, she is constantly on something, or she constantly is messed up. And that is insane to think about. A Joshua Block type of sobriety. Dad is also talked about some, and I think he's an important part of this. As a parent, you need to be a parent. Money is good and all, but I think she would even get more money, or be more successful, especially after all this has came out, if she did a, quote, getting better journey. I think she had a series where she talked about how she was sober and was making videos every day talking about it, I guess, and stuff around that. And I think that, those videos can also succeed and possibly even more, and be more relatable to a big group of people and be very inspirational compared to, just her doing her usual content. It's also nice to see that her friends care, and I think you'll see a lot of people kind of talk about this as well, is that although the situation happened, people still believe that she's a good person and that she just needs some help badly. But on to the next story. Brad Mason. I cannot find much information on who this dude is, and that's basically it. He just makes in real life videos. That's all I really know. Some people get very popular on TikTok for not doing much, and maybe he's an example of that, and some of these girls are. I don't really know, to be 100% honest. But his TikTok account has nearly 350,000 followers on it, and here is his side of the story.
Hey guys, sorry, I just got out of the shower, but I can't believe I have to make this video. But it's something that definitely needs to be addressed and brought to kind of like the public's knowledge. So as you guys know, I was friends with Ashley Barnes. And it was very public. We were very on social media that we were like close friends, right? And some things, happened earlier on, I would say, that were kind of weird, that kind of turned me the wrong way. And she started acting more weird. And as of this last trip that I took a trip out to LA. She flew me out, she bought a hotel, we stayed there. But when I was there, a lot of weird stuff happened, and I feel like it's something that needs to be brought to the public attention, because I don't want this happening to other people. And as much as I do love her as a person, she deep down, I know she's an amazing person, and I hope that she can get help for whatever she's going through. But so I was in LA, and we were making TikToks, having a good time. She introduced me to her roommates, whatnot. And like when all of this was happening, she was kind of acting weird. She's like, oh, like let's post flirty TikToks. I'm like, it's like I don't really do like, you know, fake relationship kind of thing. Like I don't want that image on me, you know, like that's just not what I particularly want out of social media. Like I love posting, I love like doing my own thing, but I would not like fake a relationship. I know like some people do it, like that's great for them. Like I'm glad like, that worked for them, but that's just not something that works for me. And she kept like wanting to do these flirty things. And me as a person, I have a really, really hard time like saying no. And she like kept asking, okay, like let's make flirty like TikToks. I'm like, okay. Like I was like visibly not really comfortable with it, and her roommate could tell. She kept making faces at me, like whatnot. Just very visibly uncomfortable with the whole situation. Like I don't just don't want to make that kind of stuff. And so I mean, like, and that's happened in the past. She's asked to make flirty videos, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, you know, because she does like pay for me to go out there. She does like, you know, provide me with a place to stay. She pays for food. Like she's you know, a good host. So I have a hard time saying no, especially when she's done that much for me. But by the way, I'm making this into like a few parts, so I'm gonna do it like around 3 minutes long each, so 3 to 4. But everything's going great, and then we get to the hotel. I want to say is the 5th or the 6th. It was, I don't think it was the day I flew out. No, it was the 6th. So like I said, it was the 6th of July. We had a good time the first night. We hung out with her like friends and whatnot, her roommates. And then come Saturday, I'm pretty sure that it was on Saturday. This is on Saturday or Sunday, whatever the 6th was. On that day, we go film our content. We go to the mall, get coffee, go shopping. If you guys are like fans of her, you'll see it like all over her Snapchat. So we had a good day. And then we go back to the hotel. Like it's getting late. Like we're with like her roommates. We're with 2 of them. The other one stayed home. And she like starts like spraying pheromone spray. If you guys don't know what that is, it kind of like releases hormones in a way. So we spray like she sprays like pheromone spray like all around the room. And she's like, oh, like I just want it to like smell good. And then she starts like cleaning it up because we had another TikToker. They're, I would say, very, very famous right now. Very public relationship, which is a key like factor of the story. They're in a public relationship. They come over, and she was like freaking out, trying to like clean up the room. She's like, oh, I have to do this good. Like I need to get like, you know, in with this said person. And this whole time she's spraying pheromone spray. Like, I'm like, okay. And she's like, oh, like it's just like I want the room to smell good. So I'm like, okay, like it does smell good. And then this person comes here, and she goes downstairs to get them, and I'm upstairs with her roommate, which I'm not going to disclose her name. And so they come back up. It's like chill, we're hanging out, like it's a nice friendly environment. And then she starts like pressuring everyone, which me as a person, like I don't drink, like I don't do like bad stuff. And she's like kind of like doing like, oh, like do this, like do this, like kind of like pressuring more of them into like doing like stuff, like drinking stuff they shouldn't be drinking, and like taking stuff they shouldn't be taking. And they were clearly very uncomfortable, very like pressured, because like at first it was like fun, like, you know, they were having a fun time doing it, like voluntarily. And then it like gets to like a point where like she starts acting weird. Weird as in she keeps telling them to keep doing more and more and more. I'm like, okay, why does she want them to like, you know, drink and like do this stuff? Like, why does she want them to keep doing that? So like in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, that's weird, because in the past she's pressured me to like want to like do stuff with them, you know, like that's like the best way to put it, I would say. She like tried to pressure me into doing like stuff that I clearly did not want to do. And during like this time, like we're all like kind of like looking at each other like, what's going on? Like this is kind of weird, like we don't know what to do. And we're like, okay, maybe she just wants to have a good time. So we like kind of like ignore it for like that moment, and then after like she starts like doing that, then it just becomes more and more weird. Okay, and then like I said, she was acting weird. We were just trying to have like a good time. And this whole time, so okay, wait. She takes me to the bathroom at one point, and then she's like, she whispers in my ear like, hey, like, so and so like aren't like really like a thing. They're not like serious. And I'm like, oh, that's not like what I've been hearing like all night. And she's like, oh, like I'm gonna get with them. You can get with my roommate. I'm like, I was like, oh, like, oh, okay. Like I didn't like say yes or no, but I was like, oh, okay. And then they go. She goes back out. And we're hanging out again, and she's like very very flirty with this person. And the whole time, like she's like drunk. I feel like at this point she was drinking a good amount. And the whole time this said person was like, oh, I love my significant other. Like I love my significant other. Like I'm not gonna like kind of like give out genders. And like that's like kind of like was what was happening, and like trying to be like, hey, like this is not happening, it's not happening, like let's hang out as friends, we're friends, come on, don't ruin this. And then she kind of like says like, oh, like let's play truth or dare. I'm like, okay, this is getting weird. So she while we're like playing like truth or dare, we all like kind of like see like, okay, something's really really off here. So we all just keep like saying, oh, truth, like, and then she's like, okay, this is getting boring, let's play dare or drink. So then she wanted to play dare or drink, right? And then she kept wanting people to make out with everyone, and we're like, no. Like she had like daring, and we're like, no, like we're not doing that, like something else. And we kept daring her, like I think I told her to do a handstand, do a cartwheel, like, you know, something like dumb, kind of like to like get the game over with. And she just kept daring everyone like make out with people, and it was like weird, and like we didn't know what to do. So then she ends up like kind of like forcefully making out with her roommate, like this said other like person. We're like, oh, we dare you guys to like, you know, like make out. We're like trolling, obviously, like we didn't actually mean that. Like we're like, oh, because we're trying to like, you know, kind of like make her like kind of like mad, but like rage baiting, but like we didn't actually mean it. And she's like, oh, we have to do it. And then she's like, are you serious, guys? Like she's like mad because we're like rage baiting. And then we didn't think it actually happened. So Ashley like grabs her by the face and starts like making out with her. And then like she like pulls away, and then she like grabs her by the throat and pulls her back in, and she's like, what? Like she's like clearly does not want this to happen. Clearly super uncomfortable. And then we obviously felt bad because we didn't think she was going to do that. Like that was totally out of pocket. And then she was like, see guys, see, like we did it as friends. Like me, like she was like, why can't you, talking to the said other, why can't we just like make out as friends? Like it's not cheating because like, you know, like it's like we're friends, so it's not considered cheating. And mind you, at this point, like we took stuff that we had no clue like what it was. Like we thought it was just normal stuff, and clearly it wasn't. So we kind of have like no clue. Like we are obviously like we know what's going on, but we like don't really like understand. So like everything's like kind of like blurry in the moment, and we're like chilling. Like everyone was like, okay, like that was weird. And then her roommate's like, Ashley, I dare you to stop asking people to make out. And she's like, no, I'm drinking. Like I'd rather drink instead of like that happen. So if you know how dare like or drink I guess works, never played that game in my life. If you like dare someone to do something, they don't do it, then they have to drink. So she's like, oh, I might as well just drink then, because she clearly wanted to do that. And this whole time she's spraying more pheromone spray. She gets this roller out, like it's like a roller pheromone, and she like puts like an X thingy like on her roommate's chest. And we're like, bro. And like at this moment, like I'm like right next to this person. I'm like, bro, like I think we're gonna get like, you know, can't like say the word on here, but it starts with an R, ends with ED. So I'm like, bro, like I think like something's bad gonna happen. And then like, what do we do? And we're like, he's like, this person's like, oh, like I can't drive, like, and I'm like, bro, I'm stuck here. And then the roommate, like, so Ashley ends up going to the bathroom, like, bro, what do we do? Like, we need to get out of here. I'm like, and then her roommate was like, oh, like, let me call, like, I'm gonna call it Uber or something like that. And then the other one's like, I can't drive, like, I cannot drive right now. And the whole time they're like, I love my significant other, like, I love them with my whole heart, like, clearly does not want to do anything with her. No one like did. And so like while this is that, she comes back out, and then she like gets these gummies, and then she's like, oh, like they're just gummies. She tries shoving it in her roommate's mouth, like, take it. So she bites off a little bit, just like get her to stop. And then she comes up to me with a different one. It was like a blue one. She's like, Brad, take this. I'm not taking whatever that is. I'm not taking, like, clearly you've already done something that you should not have done. Like, you gave me something that you did not, like, it's not what you, like, really said it was, and I had no clue that's really what it was. And she's like, oh, take this gummy, like, shoving it in my face. And I'm like sitting back, like, on my phone, like, no, like, I'm good. And then she whispers in my ear, she's like, Brad, like, just act like you take a bite, like, you can just throw it on the floor, like, I just really want this person to take it so I can get with them. And then I'm like, no. And then she literally says, oh my gosh, Brad took it. Now it's your turn. Goes and gives the other half, and like, she's looking the other way. I'm like, do not. Alright, sorry about that. And the whole time, like, I'm looking, I'm like, do not take that. And then this person was like, oh no, I'm not taking that, like, I don't know what that is. And then like, at this point we're like, bro, what the like, what is going on? And she keeps doing like this weird stuff, and she's like, why won't you take it, like, I'm just trying to have like fun, like that kind of stuff. We ended up getting it like away from her, like, we get that thing away from her. And then she tries like forcing herself on this person, and like, when I tell you, like, laying down like on the bed, like, walks over, gets in front of me, gets up, like, this person gets up to get out of the way, and like, kind of like not pushes her, but like, you know, like, stay away, like, kind of like that thing, like, did not push her in any way, but kind of was like, no, like, don't do this. And then this person was like, we're great friends, like, you do not want to do this, like, I love my significant other, you know, that kind of thing. And then she turns down the lights, like, completely turns them all the way off. At this point, her roommate grabs her purse and runs out the room. Oh my gosh, I forgot the whole part. Me and this said person, when she started like doing like started the weird stuff, me and this person went out the door, and we walked around. Okay, talking like, what do we do? Like, we're gonna like get, like, you know, something bad is gonna happen tonight. And so we walk around, we're kind of like, and this person like, I don't want to leave you here. I'm like kind of like, just like, save yourself. And they're like, I don't know if I can drive, like, all this stuff, because she's was pressuring everyone and making people do stuff. I'm like, I don't know if I feel comfortable driving, like, you know, kind of like that. And then we go back there. She's like, where'd you guys go, what'd you guys say, like, what, all this stuff. And like, we're freaked out, like, traumatized, freaked out, I don't know, whatever word you want to say. And so back to where I was, the roommate runs out with her bag. Like, she completely runs out. She's like around the corner, like, ordering her Uber to go home. And then this person's like, bro, I don't want to leave you here, like, I feel so bad, like it's like basically like saying, like, it's not safe, and like, just save yourself, like, go home, like, try to drive if you can. If you like can't, like, don't, obviously, but like, try to like get home. And then they end up leaving. Like, we walk this person down to their car, and they, like, before we leave, like, the room, they have this conversation. I'm right there. This person's like, okay, like, you know, like, me and blank are super serious, like, I love them with my whole heart, like, I'm not doing stuff with you, like, I'm not doing that, I love this person. And then she could just not take no for an answer. She kept trying to like force herself, and she's like, why can't we just do stuff, like, come on, like, we're friends. And then kind of like saying, friends don't do that, like, they don't do that. So we walk them down, And I was gonna walk this person down like by myself and kind of like figure out what we were gonna do. But she of course had to follow. In this whole, oh my god. Okay, wait. I'm gonna end this, and then in the next video it gets worse. And then, so this whole time she changes into like really small shorts, right? And the whole time she's like the whole time while like this truth or dare thing goes on, she's like spreading her legs open, like all that stuff, like lifting her like shirt up to here, like trying to like show off her abs, like just always opening her legs. Which that's something I left out. I definitely should have like included that, but she was doing this the whole time, and like, bro, what? Like, what is going on? And so this person leaves. Both of them leave, and then I'm in the room by myself. I'm like, bro, like, what do I do? Like, I get into the bed, and I like trying to go to sleep. And then the whole time she's like, Brad, like, why don't you like me like you did when I was like, when you were 13, which was like 4 years ago, like when we first met, or 13, whatever, however old I was, like 3 or 4 years ago. And she's like, am I not skinny enough? Like, I'll lose 10 pounds right now. Like, or like my, like, you know, are they not big enough? I'm like, no, actually, like, that's not it. Like, you're like perfect the way you are. Just trying to be like, you know, nice. Like, I'm not gonna like be rude, kind of like that. And she was like, Brad, like, please. And then she like gets like into my bed, and I'm just like, bro, I'm like trying to act like I'm asleep, and like I get away from her. But at this point, like, I like completely kind of like black out, like not like black out, but like I like pass out. Like, I'm so tired, like completely like done for. Like, I don't wake up until 2 p.m. and like the other people, like, I was like went home, same like kind of thing. Like, they just went to bed. They didn't like wake up till later. And she was like awake when this happened, so I have no clue what could have happened. Like, I don't know what happened really, which is kind of like scary. It's a scary situation for anyone. So I wake up in the morning, and like I'm like, did last night actually happen? So I text them. They're all texting like, are you good? What happened? Like, what happened? Like, what happened? Like, they're like genuinely like scared for my life. Like, I thank God, like, he truly did bless me to put me in a situation where I had people that are genuine people that were there for me. Because they could have easily left, like, did not care at all. But I texted them like, did this like actually like really happen? And they're like, yes. And then I wanted to text her roommate saying like, I hope you know, like, I had no part in whatever went on last night. Like, I promise you that is not what happens. Like, it's not like that. Something's genuinely wrong with her in the nicest way possible. Something that she needs to seek medical help. Like, I do. She was an amazing person before this happened, but she needs medical help. Like, she needs to stay off social media. She needs to work on herself, and then maybe one day she can come back, but she needs to stay away from social media. But so they're all texting me, and then I drop her the whole morning. Like, I'm out of my room, I'm on the phone telling my friends, I'm like, bro, like, this happened. Like, bro, what? And then I drop her off at school. The whole ride there, not speaking. Like, did not, like, I was like, yeah, I'm fine. She's like, what's wrong? Like, I'm like, just driving. Like, it's fine. And then when she was like trying to like make us take stuff, she's like, you're not gonna remember this tomorrow. Like, we might as well just all do stuff you're not gonna remember. She like was very emphasizing like not remembering stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, I definitely remember everything. But yeah, so I drove her to class, and then I dropped her off. Sorry guys, I was just talking to one of my friends on the phone, and I completely forgot to say this. Like, at night when she was like asking like, oh, why am I not good enough, like all this stuff, like while she was doing this, I was laying in my bed acting like I was asleep, and like she starts touching herself like inappropriately right in front of me. Sorry if like, you know, just bring this up, but I low-key just forgot, and I was on the phone with my friend, so I just had to like put that in here. Okay, so I drop her off for class, and then I go pick up her roommates. Or I didn't pick them up, I went and talked to them, kind of like told them the whole situation, and like from my point of view, and they're like, bro, you need to get out of there, like, that's not safe. So I go to like I go back to the hotel, pack up all my stuff, and then I ended up collabing with someone like that day, and I also am truly blessed she was there for me. She kind of like helped me figure out what to do, like what to say. So I go home, pack everything up, take everything, I leave, and then while I'm looking for my wallet, and I have this stuff on video too, by the way, like I'm not just making this up, I have like, we like go into this drawer next to like the bed, and she has 2 pairs of like handcuffs, not like normal ones, like fluffy ones, like, you know, handcuffs like that. She has like, you know, this kind of like gel, like it's called it's like kind of like a happy ending gel. It's like when you like, you know, when you're doing stuff with someone and they like, you know, kind of finish in a way. It's like gel to help them do that. She has lube. She has like a vibrator. She has those gummies to make you like, you know, want to do stuff. She has boys ones, girls ones, and liquid ones. I feel like she had something else too. I think that might have been it actually. Oh, and then like shots and like stuff like that, like of alcohol. She had all this stuff in her drawer, and I'm like, bro, like I have no clue what could have happened last night. Like, no clue. Especially with all that stuff. And I'm like, we're like, bro, we need to get out. So I take my bags, we put them in the car, we drop them off at her friend's dorm, not the one she like lives with, not that like person, but we went to their friend's dorm, and I put all of my stuff in their room. And then I went, picked her up from class with like the person I did my collab with, and she like gets like out of class, like we were trying to like act like everything's normal. We get to the hotel, drop off like the car to the valet. We're walking in, and then I'm like trying to talk to her, like, okay, let's go. Like, we need to go to the bathroom. So we both say we gotta go to the bathroom. She's like, oh, just come up with me. I'm like, no, like, we're just gonna go down here. So we go to the like bathroom, and she like kind of like walks up and follows us. She's like, oh, I'm just gonna take the stairs. I'm like, okay. So we walk to the bathroom. We wait for her to get up the stairs. We sprint downstairs, sprint out of the hotel room, and then we start walking to this mall. It has like the Emma Chamberlain coffee. By the way, it was amazing coffee. That's off topic, but we walked to that mall, and on the way, like, I'm like, okay, I need to call her dad. Like, I don't want to be like that kind of guy to like tell on someone, but I need to call her dad, because she's gonna end up saying like, where'd you go, like what happened? And I don't want him thinking like, oh, he's such a bad guy, he just used her to get like a free kind of trip out of this, because that's not what I do at all. Like, every time like I come like on like a trip, I always do whatever TikTok she wants. We do like all the content she needs. So I don't want like him thinking, oh, he just used her for this or something like that. So I call him. So after I call him, I kind of like explain the whole situation, and he was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that happened. Like, this is so unlike Ashley. Like, and I'm like, I don't feel comfortable staying the night there. Like, I just do not feel comfortable. And he's like, no, like, I understand that, like all that stuff. He was like genuine in the situation. He's like, I can't believe this. Like, and then I get but while this is happening, she's spamming my phone, and like I hated to be the guy to have to tell that to him, because like I know him, he recovered through like, you know, alcohol addiction and all that stuff. So for me to be the one to have to tell him that, like, genuinely broke my heart. Like, I was about to cry having to tell him like what she did. And so kind of like told him like that like situation, and she's blown out my phone, asking me where I'm at. So then she calls him bawling. She's like bawling her eyes out. At this point, I'm at the mall. Like, I'm making my like TikTok videos, like doing like, you know, all that. And then the dad kind of like tells me like, hey, like, you need to call her. She needs to hear what she did from you. And so I call her. And she's like bawling her eyes out. She's like, Brad, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I've been addicted to Adderall. Like, I've been taking like larger doses, like I've been like, you know, on like drugs basically, like illegal substances. She's been like on that, and I'm like okay, like, I'm so sorry, like you should like reach out, like something like kind of like that. But it almost kind of felt like she was kind of using it as I don't want to say she was using it like to make the situation right, but she kind of was. Like, it didn't seem like she was very genuine about it. Because I know she can force herself to like cry. Like, she told me that. And she does theater, obviously, so she can act. But I almost feel like she didn't really mean her apology. She's kind of just like just saying sorry a bunch and just blaming it all on like her and stuff. And like, yeah, like, it's really bad. Like, if anyone's addicted to something, it's good to reach out. But she just kept like blaming it on that. I'm like, okay, like, I'm sorry that's happening. You should get help. And she's like, should I stay in LA, like, because I want to go to Paul's party, or should I go home and just not go? I'm like, you need to go home. Like, you need to get help. Like, that's like a serious thing. It's serious. You need to go home and get help. She's like, okay, like, I'm gonna fly home. Like, I'm gonna go to like rehab and stuff, like, and all that. And like I'm like, okay, like that's good, like all that stuff, kind of like. And I was very straight up with what she did. Like, I'm not gonna like beat her on the bush. Like, what she did was insanely messed up, like illegal, to be technical. Because like that night she kept trying to make this person touch. I'm like, that is illegal. That's, you know, that's SA. And then same thing with the roommate, like grabbing him, making him out, and like grabbing him by the like throat. And then she's like, okay, I'm gonna fly out. And then like I tell her dad, I'm like, hey, has she called you? She told me she was gonna call you, and she like admitted to like her misuse of Adderall. And so she ends up flying back home. And this night, like I stayed like with my like friends there. So I had a good place to stay. They took me to the airport in the morning. And she goes back home like a few, like literally two or 3 days or whatever. She was back home for a few days, and she said she was not going to go to Paul's party, that she was going to work on herself. She flew back. She went to like rehab for 3 days, flies back out, and she goes to Paul's party. She said she wasn't going to. And keep in mind, this whole time she's not texting me, nothing. Like, we have not spoken like a week, like from today basically. And she's just acting like everything's alright. Like, I was not going to say anything. I was like, okay, it was a mistake. But she acted like everything's a-okay. Nothing like that she did was wrong. She didn't text me. I'm like, okay, like I cannot deal with this. So I posted like kind of like a TikTok, like, I don't understand how people do the most horrendous things known to man and things ever, and go on with their life and act like nothing happened just because she's like famous. So she like all this was happening. She was just going on with her life, and like, yeah, I hated seeing it because what she did was not okay. Like, she essayed someone. She was trying to get people to take stuff. Like, she was trying to basically drug people. And, like, that's not okay. And then I posted that thing, and then one of my friends, who she is also friends with, reached out and asked if it was about her. And I'm going to let them make their own separate video. It's not my place to say, like, what she's done. But basically, this is not the first time this has happened. She's done this before. So that's, like I said, it's not my place to say. If they want to make a video about it, they will. But this whole time, I'm warning people, like, please be careful. Because I care, like, about a lot of, like, these, like, influencers. Yeah, like, I might not be close to them. Like, I care about them. So I texted a few of my, like friends. And I said, hey, like, just please be careful. Watch out. And then, like, people kept saying, like, yeah, she was being really weird, or, like, that, like I said, my one friend reached out and said, oh, like, is this about Ashley? Like, and then we got a whole rundown of what happened. Very similar things. And she's been a compulsive liar. Like, she has said stuff and then said the exact opposite to other people. And, like, obviously at this point we're talking about her, so, like, we're, like, saying, oh, yeah, she said this. And she's like, oh, really? She told me the exact opposite. So she lies about everything. Like, she lied saying, oh, like, my roommate, haha, she wanted me to make a joke about having, like, you know, a three-way. I'm like, what? And then she told her roommate, oh, Brad wanted me to make that joke about having it. And I'm like, bro, neither of us said that. And then, so the reason, like, I wanted to, like, come and speak out about this is because I'm super close to her. But it also turns out this past, like, weekend in LA, she went right back to it. She went back to drinking, getting drunk, like, you know, that kind of stuff. So she went back to her bad habits already. And, like, at this point, I'm genuinely scared for other people. Especially for, because I know a lot of, like, my, like, new kind of, like, fans are from Ashley's page. So, and, like, I hate to say it, but, like, I don't want her to be your guys' role model when she's doing such terrible things. Like, and I don't want other, like, people to be put in the same situation we were all put in. You know, a place where we felt vulnerable, where we felt kind of taken advantage of, scared. So, I just wanted to come on here and kind of, like, tell you guys what happened. And I think deep down she's an amazing person. She's done a lot for me. She was there for me when I did need her, and I will admit that. But, you know, you can do so much right, but when you do something that physically bad, like, that has to be, like, known. And, like, I know social media is, like, her career, like, that's, like, you know, kind of like what she does for a living, and I hate to be that guy because I know this is probably going to really, really ruin things for her, but I simply cannot just like let her get away with like what she did. Especially because for you guys, like I don't want like that to be your guys' role model when she's doing that kind of stuff. Like I don't want someone to be praised when they did something so horrible. But my main thing is I don't want other like kind of like influencers, you know, to be put in that situation that I was put in. Because it's a tough situation, especially with her following. Like I contemplate making this video because I know she has 3 million followers. Like she could easily try to like turn things around or do whatever she wants to do, and it could genuinely ruin my life. So I'm kind of like scared about that. But other people came forward, not like came forward like publicly, but they came forward and told me, I'm like, okay, this is probably something I need to post. Like this is something I should post about it. And I do hope, you know, the other people that were in this experience or had the same experience do come out and kind of like back me up on this. But I just, you know, I'm worried about for other people what she could do in the future. Like that's just not okay. And from what I've heard from what other people have told me, like she does need mental and genuinely, like she needs to be like have genuine help, like mental help. She needs to not kind of be online right now, I would say. Like I said, what she did was insanely messed up. So I just kind of like wanted to come on here and tell my story. I hate to like have to say my story, but it is something that needs to be brought to the public eye. And I really do hope that she does get help. I hope that she is able to work on herself, and I'm sure I'll get in trouble somehow for this legally. I mean, that's kind of like how it works in this kind of like world, but it's something that has to be said. So I truly do love you all. I'm sure I'll probably get a lot of hate for this. That's kind of like how it works. But I truly do like love all you guys. I love all the support that you guys have given me and her. But I just cannot let, you know, you guys support her not knowing what she does. Like that's the kind of person she is. So I love you guys, and I hope this doesn't, you know, kind of like end badly for me, because I feel like, you know, as a person that it happens to, I feel like it's my duty to kind of like say something, because I know a lot of people are scared to say stuff when this kind of stuff happens. So I just want to let you know it's always okay to say stuff, that there are people there for you. I am very fortunate that my friend that this happened to, I was on the phone with them all morning this morning, and it's a girl. Her friends were absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. They kind of like comforted me through it. They told me like, okay, like this happened, like kind of like confirming this stuff, and they're absolutely amazing. I'm glad that they were able to help me out. I truly owe them everything. So I just kind of like just wanted to tell you guys what happened. But like I said, I hope she does get the help that she needs. But yeah, that's kind of my story, and I'm sure people will say things, and I'll reply with videos if you guys need like more details and stuff like that. I'm sure I'll make a few more videos about it when other people make their videos, if they do.
It is nice that he started off with the she needs help start and not an aggressive or very mean way. A lot of these people, and I don't think any of these people are specifically very aggressive in their videos. They're just more so concerned, I feel. Also, the couple he is talking about is Capri Jones and Piper Rockelle. The two next people that I'll be talking about, and the reason that they're last is because they are the two biggest people in this conversation. But the fake relationships on TikTok and kind of just like that type of drama are known to be a thing. Like where people will hang out for a little bit and there'll be like little rumors if they're dating or whatever to get a bunch of views, but nothing really comes out of it. But the relationship between Capri Jones and Piper Rockelle is actually real and has been a thing for a minute. They even have matching tattoos despite not being 18, which is absolutely insane to me. The forcing or hard pressuring to drink is pretty crazy and of course suspicious, but whenever they find the stuff, it is pretty evident and makes more sense as to why she was acting this way. People were commenting jokes about like when she said truth or dare, just should have wrapped it up right then and there, or how truth or dare is some people's like PTSD flashback type of moment, because it just gets insane from there. But to also get people to eat these gummies and inhale this pheromone spray without them really knowing is illegal and very wrong, I feel, especially without them knowing the purpose of this like party and hangout. And it is pretty close to, the R word, I feel. They are very close to being like essayed and R worded. Asking these questions about her body and etc. to Brad is also weird and kind of insane, especially because she was talking about certain things that are so sad, like, losing weight or getting, plastic surgery. That's so sad because she feels the need to do these extremes. Maybe she was just messed up and talking out of her rear end, which I hope is the case. Because if that's how she truly feels, then there's a huge problem that she needs to go talk to someone for. These people are in high school, by the way, and dealing with these type of issues. That's what makes it more insane and a lot sadder. And apparently, from what it sounds like, I'm kind of confused if this was all on a school night or not. If it was all on a school night, that's absolutely insane. And her being on Adderall is not an excuse. I don't know if Adderall has any of these type of side effects like that. I know that there is like some side effects to it, but I don't think there's like any extreme ones like that, but who knows. I wonder what other things she has done or has been doing. Being in rehab and getting out after a few days does not really help, and it sucks that she has bad traits of being a liar and such, because a lot of people on stuff will just lie a lot. And the dude himself being afraid to post about this stuff is such a bad feeling. But I'm glad he started and ended the story saying that she needs help badly, and I do hope she gets it. On to one of the bigger pieces of this puzzle, Capri Jones. Capri Jones is an actor and model, also known as being a fraternal twin. He played in a movie called ZZZ that was released last year, and is the boyfriend of Piper Rockelle, another popular TikToker who's been famous ever since she was very little. And she has a Netflix or reality series based around her, or she was a part of, that talks about the dark side of being a kid influencer. It really did show the negative sides, apparently. I didn't watch it myself, but after this, I just might have to. He is one of the bigger people a part of this and has 6.6 million followers on TikTok. His content is, in real life videos, skits, and stuff around that, kind of like everyone else. But here's his response.
Hello, my name is Capri Jones, and today I will be speaking about my experience with Ashley Barnes. If you guys haven't watched my friend Brad's videos about it, I recommend you guys go watch them now because it covers like the other side of it. And if you did watch Brad's video, he was talking a lot about him being in that experience with another person who was in a public relationship. Well, that person's me. I was there on July 7th, which was probably one of the worst nights of my life. I'm probably gonna make a lot of videos about the matter, so if you have time on your hands and wanna sit down and watch, feel free to do so. Before I start this video series, I just want to say I have no malicious intent while posting these videos. I am just confused and I want to drop all the lies that are being told. I have never been the person who thought blasting someone out on the internet and trying to take away their platform was the way to go. But this person is lying to their supporters and saying they're this many days sober when the incident happened a week ago. And more incidents happened after that. I genuinely thought Ashley Barnes was my friend, and I genuinely thought that she was a lesbian. But yeah, let's just get into it. See you guys next video. So this all started at around midnight. Me and Piper were just getting home, eating dinner because we had like a long day. But I wanted to do something because, I haven't really hung out with my friends. I've just been hanging out with my girlfriend, which I love her. But obviously you need to hang out with your friends. When Ashley texted me and she was like, basically that she's gonna be a third wheel and she wants me to come so like me and her can like talk and like hang out. That's what I insinuated while Bradley and them do what they're doing. And I was like, you know what? You're my dog. I got you. I want to do something anyways. Let's do it. So I get in my car and I'm on my way there. But while I'm driving, I have like a pain in my heart and like my heart's beating fast and I'm getting like anxiety. And I was thinking like maybe it's because, I haven't hung out with people in so long. But I genuinely think that God was telling me not to go. And this is stupid to say, but I kind of ignored it just so I can hang out and just so like I'm not rude and I just turn around while I'm like 5 minutes away, because I already texted her that I'm like 5 minutes away. So I get there, we walk upstairs, and there's just Brad, her roommate, and then this other girl and her. So it's 3 girls and 2 boys. There's drinks there and stuff. She offers me a drink. I'm like, nah, I'm good. You know, I'm driving and stuff. So no other drinks, I'm good. And then she's like throughout the night, she's like pressuring me to drink because, oh, I haven't seen you in so long. Oh, let's hang out. And like, she's one of the people that she needs to drink to have fun. And everybody else was drinking. Let's just call it Kool-Aid. So Brad didn't drink, but he took something else and he was so obviously faded. But later I learned that he didn't even know what that was. He thought it was just a regular gummy because Ashley told him it was. And me, I never want to be the person who like is the odd one out and never wants to be the person who like people think is better than people. So I'm not gonna lie, I got peer pressured. Okay, I got peer pressured and I did, you know, take some Kool-Aid. And I'm a lightweight, so just a little bit of Kool-Aid makes me, let's say, not clear-minded. 3 girls and 2 boys, but one of the girls is about to leave because she's gonna go on a solo mission. So we're all hyping her up, do your thing, do your thing. She leaves 2v2. And Ashley's doing a lot of taking people to the bathroom and talking to them, taking people to the bathroom and talking to them. And I'm just sitting here like, what's going on? When it was my turn to go to the bathroom, Ashley told me that Brad was trying to get with her roommate. So obviously I have to be W-mans. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that, sure. So while Ashley was talking to her roommate, me and Bradley were together. And I was talking to Bradley. I was like, what are they talking about? And he's like, I think she's trying to do like a 2-man and stuff. And I'm saying, like, you see this tattoo? Like, 444, like, I got it with my girlfriend. Like, I have a girlfriend. She knows I have a girlfriend, so what do you mean? And he's like, but she told us that you guys were only on social media and you guys were not really real. And I'm like, do you not see this tattoo? Like, I have a girlfriend that I love. So when Ashley and her roommate come in, I'm like, just letting everybody know, like, I have a girlfriend. Like, just letting you guys know. And then Ashley's like, okay, like, okay. And I'm like, it's all funny, but I have a girlfriend. So like I said before, I'm a lightweight. So I'm sitting on what is Brad's bed. There's 2 beds. I'm sitting on Brad's bed. And she's like, you might have to sleep over. And I'm like, you know what? That might have to be the method because I cannot drive home right now. So I'm laying on Brad's bed and she's like, but you're gonna have to sleep on this bed. And I'm like, wait, why? Like, this bed's comfortable, like, this one's chill. She's like, because that's Brad's bed. Like, him and this girl are gonna be on it. Like, me and you are gonna be in my bed. I'm like, no, we're not. No, we're not. I'm just gonna say, I don't think she's a person who likes rejection because, you know, she's wearing sweatpants, long sleeve, very covered up. She goes into the bathroom. She changes into very short shorts. And to the point where it's like me and Brad were like, she knows what she's doing. Like, she knows she's trying to, like, she knows what she's doing. After she changes, she goes into her drawer and starts spraying a spray. So while she was spraying it, I go over to Brad and I'm like, what's she spraying? And he's like, it's pheromone spray. I'm like, what? For those of you guys that don't know what pheromone spray is, it's basically a spray that makes you, let's say, down for whatever. And after that, she grabs something else from her drawer and it's these gummies. She basically shoves one into her roommate's mouth, basically telling her, oh, okay, take this, take this. Then she goes over to Brad, basically shoves one in his mouth, and she's like whispering something to him. And I later learned that she was telling him to pretend to take it just so I could take it. Then she goes to my mouth, tries to put it in my mouth, and I already know what it was. Like, I'm already hearing what it was. I already know. But I'm asking her, I'm like, what's in this? Like, what is this? What is this? She's lying. She's like, oh, it's a... And I'm like, oh, I don't mess with those, you know. I don't mess with those. Then she says, oh, it's a drink. And I'm like, oh, nah, I got to go home. You know, I got to drive home. No thanks. And then she's like, okay, I'm just kidding. It's a regular gummy. Just take it. It's a regular gummy. And I know what it was. I know what it is. So I'm like, no, I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. So then she like goes into the bathroom or something. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm talking to her roommate. Bradley and her went to the bathroom talking to her roommate. I'm like, what is going on? And the roommate's like, bro, just take the gummy because like she's like not gonna shut up about it. I'm like, whatever. Okay, so like she comes in. I grab the gummy. I'm like this, and like I throw it out so she doesn't know. So none of them knew that I didn't take it because I didn't. Why would I want to take that type of gummy? I'm not in that mood. I'm not doing none of that. So after that, I go to the bathroom, grab my phone, and I call my girlfriend like 4 times. She doesn't answer because it's like 3 in the morning. So I text her a bunch. I'm texting her, please make up an excuse so I can get out of here because I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I need to get out of there. So in the middle of all this, me and Brad managed to get out of the room to talk. And we're not that far from the door, but we hear it open and close. So we run, we book it out of there to like another floor. We go down the stairs, we go through a hallway, all this, all that. Cool. And we're talking. And he's scared for his life. He's like, I can't stay here. You know, I'm fried, I'm cooked, bro. You gotta take me with you when you go home, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, bro, it's not my house. It's my girlfriend's house. I'm scared too. I don't want to leave you here, bro. Like, I was about to dip, but he was like, please don't leave me here, bro. Please don't leave me here. And I was like, okay, bro, I'll stay. But nothing is happening, dude. Nothing is happening. We see clear what she's trying to do, and we're like, nothing is happening. He still has to live there because she paid for his flight, she paid for his hotel. He is in her custody right now, and he's cooked. So I'm there for him for moral support, and he's there for me for moral support because we're making sure nobody does anything stupid. So we're walking back to the room, and she sees us, and she's walking towards us, and me and him are like, hearts are beating, we're scared. She's like, what were you guys talking about? What were you guys talking about? Like, she, like, it feels like she knows what we were talking about. We're like, oh, we're just talking about cars and stuff like that, you know, boy stuff, you know, we're just talking about cars. And she's like, sure, you guys are talking about cars, okay, sure. Go back to the room. She suggests to play Truth or Dare. And we're like, oh my fudging gosh, like that is rule book 101 to get playing Truth or Dare. So anytime she's asking us Truth or Dare, or anytime anybody asks us Truth or Dare, we just say truth. Truth the whole game until she gets bored and she's like, let's play a different game, dare or drink. We dare her to do stupid things like do cartwheels or try to do a backflip, stuff like that. And she's daring everybody to kiss. And we're like, no, we're not doing that. We're not kissing. The roommate, I'm not gonna lie, the roommate, she doesn't like that this is going on, but she's not stopping it. So one of the dares, I think one of us are trolling. We're trolling. Okay, me and Brad are trolling, so we dare Ashley to make out with her roommate because we're like, no way. She's gonna see what she's trying to do with us. No way. She does it. She's making out with her. She's grabbing her neck. She's arching while she's doing it. She's in there. She's in it. And we're looking at each other. We're like, what? Like, oh my God. Now she's telling me, see, me and my roommate are friends. Now me and you can make out. Me and you can kiss. And I'm like, that's not happening. So she dares me to like make out with her, and I take Kool-Aid because I'm not doing that. You know, I'm not doing it. Okay, turns are going around. It's the roommate's turn. The roommate dares Ashley to stop asking people to make out. She goes up, grabs a drink, and takes a shot because she's like, I'm not doing that. You know, I'm not doing that. And we're like, what the, like, this girl's crazy. Like, what's going on?
A lot of people are asking me to post part 5 and when I'm going to post part 5. And here's my decision. I'm not going to post part 5 until I get my TikTok account back. 1, because I have all the videos ready to go. They're all drafted and they're literally 1 click away from being posted. And 2, I genuinely think that she did pay to get me banned, so my story doesn't get as much engagement as it has. Because out of all these victims, I don't even want to call them victims, I want to call them survivors. All these survivors, none of them have like as big as a following as me. I'm not trying to sound conceited, I'm being honest. So once I get my TikTok account back, I will be posting part 5 and 6, and I may or may not have more videos in the meantime. I love you guys.
So after that, everybody but Ashley unanimously decides not to play the game anymore. And Ashley's just heartbroken. She's literally asking me why I don't want to kiss her, why I don't want to do anything. And I'm literally looking her in the eyes and I'm like, I have a girlfriend that I love, a girlfriend that I want a future with. You're not gonna ruin that for me. I'm telling it to her because she's obviously not clear-minded. I'm telling her, you need to stop. You're my friend. You're nothing more. I grab her. I put her in her bed. Put the covers over. Boom. Problem solved, but she's still going. So, sitting on the edge of the bed, Bradley's on the other side. Roommate's on the other side. Me, roommate, Bradley are talking. What's the move? What are we getting? Like, are we getting out of here? She sits up, grabs her hand, starts like playing with my elbow in a way. I grab her, get her off. Stop. I have a girlfriend. Okay? Sits up again. In my shirt. I'm like, oh no. Like, no. Like, bro, stop. Bro, like, stop. Okay? So, there's that. Then, a little bit later, roommate books it out of there. She's out. I don't even notice she's gone. I'm like, where is she? I don't even notice she dipped. She's out of there. So, I'm doing the same. I'm like, you know what? Let's hang out another day. Let's hang out tomorrow. You know, I'm trying to make it so, like, she doesn't know I'm obviously dipping on her. So I'm like, let's hang out tomorrow. Let's hang out another day. Hey, I'll see you. I'll see you. I walk out. Brad's coming with me. She follows. Okay? And we're like, we don't need you to follow. And then she's, like, begging me to come back to the room and, like, stay and stuff. I'm like, no, I got to go home. You know, stuff like that. It's too late. Go into the elevator. Go down. We're all talking. I'm about to walk out. She presses the elevator button back to her room. And me and Brad are like, nice one, Ashley. You're funny. Good job. You're hilarious. Press the button back to the lobby. Go downstairs. Walk to my car. Bradley's scared. He's like, bro, like, you know, I'm happy you're getting out of here, bro, and I'll text you. So I get to my car, and I'm out of there.
I don't know if by the time this video is done, editing-wise or anything of the sort, if his full story will be out, but there is 7 parts to this and only 5 have been released. And one of the reasons that this is not out all the way, supposedly, is allegedly Ashley had paid $3,000 to get his account took down as he was making videos talking about the whole situation. And apparently while making like another part of the story, I think it was like part 5 or part 6 or 7, like he was releasing these like one at a time. During that time he got banned, and a lot of his videos were took down for one reason or another, I think, which caused him to get banned. But he showed a lot of proof of this, and which is absolutely insane. As of right now, only part 5 is released, but a lot of his videos have been took down. Even the original 4 parts have been took down, and part 5 hasn't been took down yet. But for whatever reason, he's posting skits instead of the story itself, which is pretty annoying to me and takes away from the situation. I feel like it's very cringe what he's doing here. I get that, like, hey, you're having issues with your account, but maybe just don't post. He's posting, like, stuff around it, but he's not posting the story itself, which is kind of aggravating. Rockelle. Rockelle is 17 and has been on TikTok for a super long time, like ever since she was a little kid. And back whenever it was Musical.ly, I believe, as well, which is absolutely insane to think about. Thanks to this, she has nearly 17 million followers on TikTok and has over 12 million subscribers on YouTube. She posts skits, dance videos, and other in-real-life content on TikTok and YouTube. I think she also has like a song or two. I don't really know. I think this was during the era where everyone was making songs. So I think that explains why. And like I said earlier, she has a Netflix series based around her and others, dealing with the dark side of being a kid influencer. Piper has not really responded to this. I feel like she's too big of a creator to respond in the usual way that everyone else has, but she went onto the Bangin' Out podcast with other people a part of the situation, and I guess that podcast episode will be released in the next few days. But as of recording this video, it is not out. When talking about the situation on TikTok, it was mainly her talking about her boyfriend being banned, talking about the situation. Also another TikTok of her hinting that she was on the Bangin' Out podcast and talking about this situation, but other than that, there is no official response from her. Ashley Barnes' response. So far, Ashley has supposedly responded 2 times on TikTok. One on her main account on a story, so that response was only up for 24 hours. And another time on her alt account where she posted, but it was for her followers only, and here they are.
Hi guys, it's Ashley Barnes. I'm about to go to class. It starts in like 15 minutes. But I just wanted to publicly apologize for the last 3 months of my life, and also just kind of the fact that I'm not the person that you guys followed when I started making content. And some people have commented saying like I miss like when she used to do this kind of content. I miss when she used to do this. And I was like, yeah, you know, you grow and you change. And I kind of gave up on talking about important topics and posting videos about the things that I'm passionate about, because people online, especially these days, have gotten so mean. Like, tell me why I see so many people being like, bring back bullying, like all this stuff. What happened? What happened to the positivity? What happened to the caring for each other, building a community, mental health, like awareness? Why were we moving backwards? But it had gotten to the point where I was like, okay, whatever, I just need to get my videos in. And so I was just posting as bland as it could be, literally a dance, a lip sync, basic content, because it seems like it's so much easier to be consumed by the majority when it's not something that's hard to swallow, you know? But I just want to say, I'm feeling pretty inspired, and I'm feeling like I'm gonna do a mix of what I've been doing, but also bring back some of those videos. And I don't care. Like, when I would post videos talking about mental health and stuff back when I was 14 and did not have followers, people loved it. They're like, oh my god, she feels so real. And then once I hit like 1 million, people were like, she doesn't understand struggles. I'm still the same person I was with or without followers. It's a number on my phone. It doesn't follow me around the second I turn it off. But this is really long to put on my story. I hope I can still put on my story. But what I wanted to say is that I'm sorry. And I think going through this recovery journey and finding myself again has really like made me realize that I don't want to just accept defeat. I don't want to be this person. I want to do more. And it's bringing my passion back. And I love you guys so much. And I want to go back to public service announcement for you guys, because we're more one-on-one over here since I did one on my main and y'all seem to like it. I just wanted to say, please be careful when you are getting put on any like medications, especially like mental ones, because I went to psychiatrist. I got misdiagnosed, which is like to nobody's fault, but it's just a sucky situation. I was put on medication for something and it was the wrong medication. Unfortunately, I lost like 3 months of my life being on this like medication where I don't remember much of any of it. And I mean, I just became like a person that I'm not. And now being on this side of the equation and being off it and just being like walking around like, oh my gosh, like it got really bad. And it is so great to finally feel like alive again, and like I've been given a second chance at like life. And I just want to let you guys know, like, I wish that I can't believe it went on for 3 months. Like, I wish like I noticed it sooner. So please, like, keep in mind, like, check in, have people like there to like notice if you shift who you are. And I'm like so grateful to be able to think again and be myself and go back to doing what I want to do, which is writing and pushing positive messages. But I love you so much, guys. But that was my little PSA. Please be careful. I wish that I had known, like, because I didn't even notice it because it did it to myself. I knew I was different, but I just did not realize that was why. Anyways, love you guys.
She isn't really apologizing or anything, just sort of talking about the situation or around it and excusing it as it was due to her medicines, as she alleges. If this is true, then she will change completely in the very near future or right now, but at the moment, she is known to be a liar and not a great person. I feel like it's a bad excuse, and I feel like she is lying, but we can use like what she is saying here as a chapter to come back to if she messes up again. But sadly, people that deal with addiction issues usually do relapse pretty quickly, but maybe it was just the medicine, but I heavily doubt it. It wasn't really an apology or anything. I feel like she should have said sorry to everyone about this, and her reasoning behind everything seemed like a lie. But let me know what you all think. A lot of people would probably know more about this and be able to analyze it better than I could. End. I feel like trying to have one of these types of parties without everyone knowing the purpose behind it and trapping them into it is a dumb, very confident, or substance-inspired mindset. It is also interesting that people who go through SA experiences also end up doing said things to others. I know it's a brain chemistry thing, but I always wonder the psychological reasoning behind this type of stuff, as she seems to be someone who also deals with that repeated pattern as well, with the inclusion of issues like, consuming stuff. There's also been talks about people going through the same experiences she has and throwing themselves onto others, body-wise, to feel loved and, appreciated, and going to consuming products. But it's such a sad thing to hear, because I'm sure she'd be a fun and cool person without needing to do these things and be able to be loved without those aspects. But after such an event, it's very hard to really help change their mindsets without them getting professional help and going on the right paths. She definitely needs help and has gotten some in the past, such as that rehab, but her dad keeps basically helping her and allowing this stuff to happen. And if your own dad, or, of course, adoptive dad, foster dad, I guess is what it's called, isn't going to stop you and help you even with this type of behavior, then the path to recovery is going to be a hard one to, stay on and actually succeed in. Especially at such a young age, having to deal with these issues, it can break people for the rest of their lives. I think since everyone can come out about this and make statements towards her, and her job being, social media, maybe she will feel forced to take a break and do the right thing and get the help that she needs. And I really do hope that she does get the help she needs, as she is not even an adult yet, so there's so much more time and so much more life left to live and so much more opportunity to get better and show, growth. But I'm also afraid that how her life started will also affect the future basically forever. Now, I feel like kids really do need to be able to live their lives and be kids for a while, not to grow up so fast. And the dad also needs to step in. I feel like if she doesn't change, or even if she does, she might have a Britney Spears type of moment where she just goes on that big bad rabbit hole and looks crazy online for a long time and acts very weird. And I hate the thought of that. I really do. And it feels so sad. I feel bad for everyone in this situation, but they at least understood what they went through was bad and that they should not accept it. So maybe they will go on to live lives that are not greatly affected by this. I thought this situation was very interesting, and I'm kind of interested if there's going to be a discussion in the comment section about this. But that is all I have for today. Make sure to like and subscribe if you have not already, as I make videos on internet dramas, lolcows, and more. I hope you all enjoyed this one, as it's not often I do talk about TikTok beefs, but I thought this one was pretty fascinating. Thank you all for watching and the support, as it means so much to me. Follow my Twitter, is linked in the description below. And in the end, I'm PERK30, and keep God close.